morning, everyone. I hope you're well out there. Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for all your comments, and thank you for dropping in on the first live that I did yesterday, which was something new for me. It wasn't prearranged, so I didn't contact anybody or say, you know, or schedule it in any way. I just decided to do it. And how easy is that to do? And how dangerous is that to do? You know, if you were somebody important, you just had a notion. My Lord. Anyway, today's reading is going to be, do they want a relationship with you? So where are they in their lives right now? The situation between the pair of you, what are they looking for from you, and where are they going to go with it? That type of thing. I've got it all in order in my head. It will come out, I'm sure. You've got 3 choices. I haven't chosen yet. I will show you your 3 choices from this pack of cards. First one is Forward Moving Gardens, 2 of Wands. Forward Moving Gardens. That's number 1. Number 2 is, bear with me. Number 2 is Full Go. So all positive. And number 3 might not now be. Messenger of Acting First and Thinking Later. We like that one. So you've got 3 choices there. I'll go through them again. Forward Moving Gardens for number 1. You've got the Fool card for number 2, which is the big go on it. And you have got Acting First and Thinking Later for the second one. So if you want to take your choice, and then we'll go to the camera above and hi again, it's me from a different view. These are your 3 cards, just to remind you again. Number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm just going to go straight into number 1. Let's just go for it. Let's just go.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Okay, I'm just going to start with what I've got here so far. I was going to put the whole pile out, but to me this has got what I would say a very relaxed, watery, emotional feel about it. There is some sort of danger, a bit like a Venus-Neptune contact, that things are felt deeply, things feel beautiful. The connection, it has what I would say a psychic link, but things may not be as concrete as you would like. You have got the Lovers, you've got Psyche for them, or Psyche. You're coming across as Palace and the 2 of Water. So absolutely beautiful. This is almost like eye-wateringly, I'm going to say spiritual, I suppose. I can't think of a different word. That's not the one I was going to choose, but it's like a contact that is otherworldly in some way. And I was thinking this morning how things happen in the world, and we get sucked into situations, and it's basically there to show us more of who we are, how we judge, who we want to be, where we're going. And the media, which I try not to comment about too much, I do readings for, you know, like what I guess are famous people, but not to judge them so much. But I was thinking as I was running this morning, how I've slightly fallen in love with Ben Chew from the Johnny Depp trials. And I know, and I looked up his chart, how I know I'm mad, and he had Neptune conjunct his moon, and I think that's what I was falling in love with. Falling in love is a funny term, but it's just a bit dramatic way of admiration. Because in a job where I suppose that he's meant to be, or lawyers tend to be seen as very straight, and lawyers themselves say, you know, very type A personality, and to have somebody who's breaking and cracking, voice cracking and crying when they're talking about a client, whether that client, you know, whatever you think of the trial doesn't really matter. But I suppose what I'm feeling and thinking is the attachment and the beauty, and it's not attachment is the wrong word, it's the sensitivity and the beauty and the kindness, and I suppose almost like a release of energy. So with this Lovers card and this 2 of Water, those are my first thoughts. The Lovers likes to connect. The Lovers, it's like falling in love with yourself, these 2 cards here. And as I said, when we see things in people that we admire, I mean, why am I drawn towards that guy with his Neptune conjunct his moon? Because I've got Neptune conjunct my MC, which, is complete ego vanity in all of us. Fantastic. But we do tend to fall for people who display the qualities that we have inside us, depending on our development, how far we are down the track in actually, living them and owning them and having the best parts of them shown to the world and to ourselves, hopefully. I don't know, is different in all of us. But to me, this feels like a very, very strong, gentle spiritual connection, hence the Neptune feeling here. That feels to me like two people that don't really have to say or don't think they need to fill in the blanks when you're together. It also feels as well there's a sad feeling to it, and I don't know why. With the Two of Water, there's a lot of water here. And the Moon and the Lovers is making me think of water, and it's not. So why? Psyche makes me think it. Basically, this is all underneath the surface in what I would say is swimming in feelings and emotions and hopes and desires and soul yearning is what I would guess this relationship is like. Their energy is coming across extremely sweet and kind, and they know what's going on between the pair of you. They want to connect. There's a feeling here of somebody that likes relationships with a Lover's card here and has connected to you. You're coming across here as the Two of Water, so it's exactly the same feeling. So it wouldn't surprise me if a few of the people watching this, it's not going to be for everyone. And, I do actually think I've always put it back on the people watching to relate this to yourself. It's almost like overhearing a conversation. Which bits can you pull? But this to me has a feeling that there may be other reasons that you've been pulled together in this lifetime, and that could be an awakening type of feeling, not like a slamming against the wall epiphany, but more of a gentle knowing, understanding, connections, where you sit, what you want, what you were if you believe in past lives together, that type of feeling. Absolutely beautiful. The Moon here, though, is where that Neptunian feeling is coming from, which I know is not Neptune, but to me it feels like that because there's confusion with what I would say intense psychic ability going on between the pair of you, like dreams and eye contact and things that are hidden but felt. With the Moon card here and the World card here, they're big cards to have they are big cards to have. And I'm thinking if this is a situation or inklings of what's going on, it's like I think that your person isn't particularly bothered about an end product with the Moon card and the World card here. It is all sort of misty and slippery, and the World card here doesn't make me think, because of the cards above, that they want a full stop for this. This isn't somebody who wants to have and to understand. Well, no, that's wrong. This isn't somebody who wants it to be, this may change, to be concrete. It's not their strongest desire at the moment to make this situation concrete. This will change. I've got lots of spreads to come with this. But to me, the World card doesn't mean wrapping up and putting a full stop on it, although that looks like a full stop. To me, my first thoughts, because of the cards here, is almost like the, what's the Infinity? It's almost like we know that it carries on. And because of the recognition up here, it's like there's no rush in this. There's no rush in this person's mind with regards to this relationship. This is more their desires at the moment in life in general. So the Moon and the World card, they're enjoying the process. They're enjoying the process, and I think that you both are getting something from this process, and it's never easy. I don't think it's ever easy when there's like a distance and you're asking, do they want a relationship with you? Because you're wondering, and it starts off and it's fun and it's great, but as it continues, you want more reality. This at the moment is not in reality. This is in this person's head, but It's the beauty that they're experiencing with the connection with you at the moment. Some people don't taste that at all. So this is nice. But let's see how it goes. Let's do these ones. Okay, this to me is basically what we've just been talking about. The heaviness here, and I love this card because I know that it's there's a different book that I've got that I rely on quite heavily when I look at interpretations, and this card is always termed as 36, which is the 9 and the ending of the no it's not, I'm lying. Oh yes it is, yeah it is. I know it's a 10, but in this book that I find really interesting it's a 9. Yeah, that is right. And what happens is that over certain lifetimes that we load ourselves with karma, I suppose, here, and we carry it through. A lot of the time it can be like our Achilles heels. It's those things that bug us or trip us up. So there's something in this relationship amongst its beauty that is there to... Because you want to get... I know this is really a 10, but in my mind it's a 9. You want to drop this. The pair of you need to drop this. It's like something going on that you've almost carried for a long time. And to me, this feels almost so ethereal that the connection isn't concrete. But you've got the Queen of Pentacles at the end. So what am I thinking here? The Queen of Pentacles at the end would be that... To me, it feels like you're the one that's yearning for reality because they're not as yet. You want something to start. Yeah, it's like... To me, and I think, you know, if you're looking at tarot readings and you've got this connection anyway, you're already immersed in the process of understanding what's going on behind the scenes or below the surface. And with the Queen of Pentacles here, it's like you've wanted to start moving now. You've delved into this enough. What is actually going to happen? You've got, again here, it feels like emotional completion. There's something in this that is extremely Neptunian without a Neptunian card. You know when you hear music playing, and I'm trying to think like a symphony and something, and it uplifts you. And I always think of that old Verve song. I think the word is something symphony in there. And I can remember reading in a really old mag that there was certain chords in that almost had reverberated inside you in some way, that almost had a uplifting, a universal uplifting basically message in it that you picked up without knowing what you were doing. This feels the same. It's got a very unusual feel to it. It's also reminding me of certain more books that I've read, I suppose, where you... Oh my God, it's called Messages in Water. Fantastic book. And it's basically how certain vibrations change the formation of ice. So people are, and you have this as well, you know, like plants grow when you give them a bit of love. You know, you talk to your plants and say, I love you every morning. But the same as it's with ice. So people like, you know, heavy metal music and then stick the ice in the fridge and how it forms. I don't know, I can't remember it, to be honest. It's years ago I read it. And then there's certain crystallization patterns, formation patterns, I suppose, in the ice. And it makes a discordant, it looks discordant pattern. And when you play at symphonies, it's like the most beautiful snowflake patterns you can imagine. This feels like beautiful snowflake patterns. It feels like it's still forming in some way, so it can't be read by the pair of you. But in that crystallization process, it's like you're getting more out of this than if you'd had this person straight away. And it goes both ways. It makes me think there's a lot of water in you both. But the Queen of Pentacles, there's only so long you can live lifetime from lifetime to lifetime without it actually being reality. That is where I think you are at the moment. What do they want from you? What do they want from you? Oh my gosh. They lie. This is, you know, I was talking about Benchu earlier with that moon Neptune. This is a very Neptunian feeling still. What do they want from you? The Starseed, the Two of Swords. This is somebody who is stuck in the beauty of this. This is somebody who doesn't actually at the moment want the answers. They're alive with the being immersed in possibilities, probabilities. This is somebody who's swimming in that symphony and is enjoying it and doesn't really mind at this very moment in time whether it has that full stop or not. This feels very sweet and very soft. This is like a love affair or a crush or something that's very magical that people hold on to. And, you know, when we're on like our last days and we're talking to our kids and we're saying, you know, things that have happened. What's that Notebook film, isn't it? When he goes at the end, he's talking about with love about this relationship that he's had. This is what this feels like. Which I know may seem far-fetched, but it's not very often you get all these cards together. And if you look at them, you've got Lovers, you've got Psyche, you've got Palace again, and the Two of Water, emotions, understanding, everything delving deep. You've got the Moon and the World. What this person actually desires in life at the moment is still almost a little bit ethereal. Then you've got what's going on between the pair of you, which is like holding on from things from different lifetimes. You've got cards here of what are beautiful cards of emotional completion, but the Queen of Pentacles, and guess because you'll come to the reading, even though it's got the High Priestess over it still, it's still basically, it's like Pisces jam, this one. And then you've got the Queen of Pentacles. It feels to me as if you're ready to get this moving. Now, there's only so much you can learn, so much you can think, so much you can wonder. You know, what do they actually want from you? They're still stuck in this process and enjoying it. You've got the Two of Swords here. I'm not moving out of this starseed. I'm not moving out of this beauty. This is somebody who possibly, I mean, there's lots of reasons, isn't there, to delve into Neptune. Neptune in its highest form is absolutely magnificent, as is Jupiter. But Neptune in its lowest form forgets what we know, forgets that we're actually on the earth. This is like you're saying to them, remember why you're here. Let's, you know, almost let's keep going with this. Let's make it work. And they're like, well, no, I don't really experience this feeling very often. It's like an alcoholic going back into like drinking. It's like an alcoholic drinking. It's that smoothed out feeling of feeling like you're back in the womb. And this person is enjoying this. So the last card is, I'm not going to tell you what it is until I get it out. Let me use this one. Action, no. You've got the Five of Cups here, and this particular Five of Cups is interesting. You know, we're talking about lifetimes here, we're talking about connections, we're talking about things that feel like it's like trying to hold on to talc or water that goes through your fingers, because it almost feels like this is difficult to get moving. But in the beauty of the contact, it brings out the beauty in ourselves. There is a connection here that brings out your higher self. And that is recognizing love and recognizing beauty and living it. It doesn't always get brought down and, you know, earthed in some way. And this feels like that's what you want to do. This person is still living the experience. You've got the Five of Cups here. It's almost like they acknowledge that this has never got off the ground. If this was like lifetimes of connections here, if you believe in that, this one with taking the picture, they're still living in the past. They're still living in this moment. So I think your person is a type of spread that if you left them, they'd cry. But if you asked them, if you went up straight and asked them, you know, what's going on between the pair of you, they would almost look a bit befuddled or shy, I think was probably the feeling I was getting when I was saying that. It's like getting stuck in comfort, this, in beautiful comfort. It's like sitting on the couch. You know, there used to be an old advert when it There's an old advert with the guy from Japan, really, really old guy, incredibly, fantastically majestical bone structure, Pete Murphy, and he sat on the couch and music, it's like an old tape one actually, and this music is, I'm older my, the music is almost overtaking him. I don't know if his hair's flying back. I think that's what it is, not I've got it mixed up. This feels like your person's on the couch and the symphony of this relationship is overwhelming them, but they're extremely happy just to sit there in it. So what do they want out of the, do they want a relationship with you? To be totally honest, and this is a general reading, and you will know inside yourself whether this feels right for you or not. We all know that feeling, and as you say, you can't apply to everybody, but it's a chance to question yourself, where you think you sit and what your feelings are, and sometimes it will click, sometimes it won't. To me, this feels like somebody who recognises the beauty between the pair of you. It's somebody who melts when you're around, somebody who talks about you a lot when you're not there in a very complimentary fashion. Somebody, and it doesn't even feel like blockages that they can't move forward. It feels like they're just happy with the way things are, with the Five of Cups here as well. So, do they want a relationship with you? Oh, my dog's coming. They think they already are having a relationship with you. It's just the level of the relationship. To me, it feels like this is too distant. There's not, you don't even have to have a lot of earth in you to realise that this needs to be more concrete to get this moving at the moment. I don't think you're going to get that. They're not ready yet. They're still on the couch listening to the symphony. Okay, pile number 1. I'm going to leave that there. I hope that helps in some way. But I suppose to leave you with a thought here that this person's admiration and connection with you is sweet and, I'm going to say out of this world, but it definitely is otherworldly, and it would be really a mean thing to do to berate somebody who's in the middle of this. They just haven't got to this one yet. They're just enjoying it for what it is at the moment. Okay, pile number 1. I'm going to take my dog out for a wee. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay. I'm going to start going bit by bit. The last, well, pile 1, I think I put more cards out, but sometimes the cards just interest me and I need to speak while it's still in my head. The Ten of Earth and Uranus made me think of nervous fray, to be honest. The Ten of Earth is carrying a lot of responsibility. Uranus would find that difficult. Uranus, the last thing somebody with strong Uranus wants is responsibility. Any responsibility. They don't like to be tied down by anything. Being tied down by things, it can sometimes squash creativity, I think, in some ways. And Uranus likes spontaneous, likes, things to act immediately, or situations come to them immediately and they like to act on them in some way. So that these don't go together. So I think the word I'm thinking of is discordant here with these 2 cards. So something going on in this person's life at the moment that I don't know. To be honest, of course, I don't know. But it feels like responsibilities that they're not happy with. Whether it's family, whether it's work, it's opposing energies here to me. Then you've got you coming across as Vesta and Fortune. To me, it feels like you're in a good place with Vesta and Fortune here. With the Fortune card, it's openness. And that loves that flip-flop, going for a swim. It's like, that sort of, that feeling you get when something's really new, when something is exciting. And Sagittarius, life's always new to them. It's how can they keep that enthusiasm going forever? Isn't that beautiful? So It feels like a child who's going on their first holiday or waiting for Christmas. There's something open about you. It feels that there's something quite childlike and optimistic and fun-loving. But you've got that Vesta card there that makes me think that you make strong attachments to people, especially women. You're a good friend. You're there for people. I wouldn't say this doesn't make me feel that you listen to people. It makes me feel that you act when people need it. You probably read people's needs and wants very well, and you're there and you help them. When to me, this feels a bit similar, to be honest. Do you know what I can't explain what it feels like, but let me try. It feels like two people that deep down are incredibly good people. Don't just think of themselves all the time. But your person is different from you, where you feel like you're in a better place at this particular moment, which has got a lot to do, not so much with your basic disposition, but more to do with life circumstances around at the moment. I think your person's in difficult life circumstances at the moment with the 10 of Earth and Uranus. So let me just have a look. Let me just put some more cards out. Which ones? Have they gone? Oh, here they are. This is work. Your person feels like somebody who takes responsibility in some way in work situations, but it's not part of their personality. It may be somebody who's gone into a job or a situation to help others. You've got the Hierophant Uranus here. So it's a bit like wanting to help a group of people pull themselves up in some way, with the Hierophant pulling somebody up in Uranus there. The Eight of Pentacles then is work bound, and the 10 of Earth is work bound or responsibility bound in some way, and it doesn't go with this main strong Uranus card here. So to me, it feels like somebody that has gone into a job, gone into a situation, or been pulled into a situation, and they don't want to be there anymore. So this is probably all engrossing in their life. And I remember reading about Aquarius people that they make good employees. What was the reason that was given? Because they're quiet and they get on with it. They don't want fuss and they don't really want to be seen for what they're doing. They just want to just do and be. This has got this feeling in it here. Your person feels like they're not talking about what's going on in their life to anybody. It just feels like it's a heaviness. It feels like a Saturn transit on somebody that doesn't like to be tied down. But in those Saturn transits, we learn about ourselves, don't we? So that is what I'm getting here. So your person feels a little bit as if pushed into a corner in some way. Just feels Saturnian on somebody who's got Uranus. So how would those two energies go together? Saturn and Uranus are coming from the same place, aren't they? They're both cool. One's controlled. Yeah, one's controlled and one's uncontrolled. Not controlled. Let's see what's going on between the pair of you. Oh, what's going on between the pair of you? This either feels like things that aren't confessed. My first thoughts here with the Seven of Swords and the Page of Swords, it could be conversations where, my first thought is, you know, that sort of conversation you have when you're 17 and you've fallen for somebody who's quite fiery, and so they come up to you and they say, I hear that you fancy me. And then you go, no, because you're put on the spot. That could have happened in some way. This person seems a bit more sensitive than that, but it does have that feeling like, that was that bit in the Bible where the crow crows 3 times or something. You could have verbally got yourself out of a situation, but looked as if you could have put yourself into a situation that they thought you weren't interested. You may have done that with your mouth, or through communicating like an email or something. The Three of Pentacles here, this person could be your friend, or you could have the same work environment. You could be in groups or have the same work environment, possibly here. What is this about? the situation between the pair of you, you could have even argued. You could have had some sort of shenanigans going on between the pair of you that has caused hurt. And this could be a past partner where things are left where unfinished in some way, or words have stung in some way, and it's difficult to get back together, and you're wondering whether it is possible, whether this person wants another relationship with you or wants to restart this. Because the Seven of Swords is a sneaky, sneaky snitch, isn't it, card? It's normally, to me, it feels in this, because the Page of Swords is making me think of communication. It makes me think that somebody has pulled something out of the bag that the other person didn't know, or said something that has stung is the best word I can think of. Or sent an email. I don't know. Why would you do that? Because your energy isn't coming off like that. Apart from if you are Sagittarius, and Sagittarius normally say exactly what they're thinking, which could be here and it could have hurt. And the Uranus and Sagittarius, to me, you know, you get those like astrology signs that have similar energy. I always think Aries, Scorpio, really difficult for me to see if one's quiet, if you've got quieter Aries, because the power is the same coming from the pair of them. Mars. But one's, you know, they're just, I find it difficult. Aquarius, Sagittarius, similar, freedom-loving, liberal in lots of ways, I suppose. Just easygoing and open and adventurous and likes excitement. But there's a coolness in Uranus that is not in Sagittarius. There's a more, is a fixed, there's a more, they like, Uranus and Aquarius like more, they like control. Not in the same way as Pluto, but in a way of like, leave me alone, I'm in my scientific little pod and I'm reading, so I'm not coming out, that type of feeling. Why this is free flowing. So have you said something that's hurt their feelings here? Children. Children involved? The situation between the pair of you, there may be children in the middle of this. To me, I can't think of anything different, because you've got the Six of Cups with the Page of Cups there. Or it could be with the Seven of Swords, the Page of Swords, an early bad situation maybe. A bad start in this. Something said, something that wasn't meant. Because this is the past and this is something, the pages are small things. So, okay, so somebody could have put their foot in at an early stage of this relationship. Probably you, if you're coming across as Fortune. There's a feeling here that with the Vesta card here that you wouldn't hurt a fly, that you wouldn't hurt anybody. There's a real sort of feeling with the Vesta and the Fortune card of camaraderie. This person here feels busy. The connection between the pair of you, the situation between the pair of you feels like it's been tripped up somewhere along the line, which is making me think in the past you could be friends, you could be in a work situation. If there aren't children involved, and that could be a major hiccup with this moving forward, because they've come up here and it's the Seven of Swords. Something could have started early on in the relationship, or even recently, I suppose the timing doesn't matter, where no, it would have been early on with these cards here, where, I don't know, something spoken, something read was terse or underhand, and you're wondering, is it possible to get this back together again? Something underhand. But doesn't mean you were underhand. It could have just been perceived as in, right, I didn't see that one coming. Not particularly interested in that one. I don't know, I'm shuffling this one because I'm not going to use that. What do they actually want from you? What do they want from you? Now, keeping in mind that there's a lot going on with this person. This person feels uncomfortable in life at the present. Feels like their energy isn't rubbing well together. Feels like you've had a good start, but something has, it's not like a bomb in the middle of you, the pair of you. It feels like something has dropped a pellet. Dropped a pellet, not a bomb. What's going on between the pair of you? This feels, there's a lots of pages in this. either the need to communicate, the need to start fresh, the strength is to be the bigger man, the bigger woman. So if there's something difficult between the pair of you, and you've got the Strength card here, and you've been reminded again with the Page of Swords here, you know, next to the Seven of Swords, if you've said something, if they've said something, you've taken complete offence at it, the Strength card is like begging you, or both of, probably them, to just forget about it. And I'm remembering that line from Legally Blonde when... I've only watched that film about 3 times. I do like it though, I don't know why. Where somebody's had a go at Reese Witherspoon. It was Reese Witherspoon, and the lady sits up in the hairdresser, which is the best bit in the hairdressers, and says something like, "You can't basically stop from every dog that barks at you." Why have I said that? I don't know if I just said that. Oh yeah, and I just realised I was getting so into Legally Blonde then. Do you know that woman who's in the hairdressers? The one who falls in love with the postman. So she is fantastic in that. Anyway, if you have had words, if anything has passed between the pair of you that feels as if it shouldn't, and somebody did email me, and I won't say the name, the other day, and it makes me think of this, where they'd heard that this person in their block of flats was attracted to them. I hope they don't mind me saying this, I'm not going to say names, and this is what it feels like to me, so you may be able to relate to this, and I hope, I'm going to say he or she, because it could have been either, doesn't mind me saying, and for some reason, I don't know what had happened, they'd been introduced to each other and she rebuffed him in a slight way or something like that, and he's avoiding her now. So this has got that feeling about it. So you have to relate that to your situation if it feels right inside of you. So we really want to know, do they want a relationship with you? At the moment, they feel like they're logged in their own behaviour. It feels like they're hurt over something. It feels like there's a slight history between the pair of you where they feel that they've been rebuffed. These cards here are saying to them that they need to get over that. So do they actually want a relationship with you is the reason that you've come for a reading. Let me see which card. Yeah, yes, I think that energy of you know, we were talking about this energy here, the Uranus energy. This person feels like they've been pushed into a different relationship with themselves. But with the Nine of Water, and it almost like washes out the Earth, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Pentacles here. And it feels like they get back into their own stride in some way. And I think that's when they may start opening up to you. I mean, of course, don't hold out for anything. But there feels like this person is going through a life experience that is dragging them down, not in the Plutonic under the Earth, but more in a Saturnian way where they haven't got time. And I always say in these readings, you know, don't hang on for this, because if people really want something, they find the time. Everybody finds the time for something that they want. But this person, possibly with a Nine of Water here, is a beautiful card for the action. And it doesn't mean that they're going to come flying at you, but it feels like they're going to open up to you. So I think this person does want a relationship with you, but I think life circumstances and past events, past hurts between the pair of you, possibly with these cards here, maybe children, maybe you may work together as well or be friends, could very possibly be part and parcel of enough reason, because this person is busy anyway, to not deal with this at the moment. But don't wait around for anybody to deal with anything. And I feel really strongly when I say this, because I think with tarot readings, it's really, really easy for people to hang on forever. You know, I don't know. It's difficult for me to say pile number 2, because when I really want something, I will go for it, and I'm not particularly assertive in many ways, but and so I find that difficult. You know, and I want you to basically do what you're going to do and not wait around for somebody. But this person feels like they're logged up with life, but they want you. So I'd like to tell them off is what I'm trying to say, to get moving with it and stop being churlish. These are the words I'm sure my mum's used with me. Okay, pile number 2, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that helps. Look after yourself. Take care. Bye. Oh, I don't know if I clicked off or not. Anyway, I'm here. So for all you pile 3s, messenger of acting first and thinking later, please put in the comments section if you've got Uranus or Mars strong in your chart, because I would be interested to know, because if you chose that card, even though it's a Knight of Wands, those are the first ones I'm thinking of. Yeah, Aries maybe, Sagittarius probably, Uranus definitely. So their energy, let's see where they're coming from. Let's see where you're coming from. Let's see what their desires in life are in general. Then we'll build on that to see whether they want a relationship with you. Okay, so where are they coming from? Okay, to me this feels very straightforward, that you are hopeful, you are open, you are flexible. You've got Neptune, the fortune card here. It feels like you are wishing, waiting, dreaming. They've got the full moon and the 3 of air. It feels like pain, it feels like heartache, it feels like confusion, but a slight wanting a new start. Not as strong as you, the feeling of optimism here, but the full moon is the full moon. It's not just the moon, it's the full moon. But there's pain here. So just thoughts here. Is this person waiting for something to happen, waiting for something to clarify with the 3 of air here and the full moon? Or stuck in a situation where they can't actually move forward, or doesn't feel like there's been pain between the pair of you because you're coming out really happy. Not unless you're some sort of narcissist that loves afflicting pain, which I don't guess that you are with these cards here. This person's not happy in themselves at the moment, so it must have something to do with their life circumstances. Let me add some more on. Okay, this person is in what I would say in pain. We've got the Ten of Swords and the King of Swords here. This is somebody who isn't really thinking of love. There's something has happened that feels like death in a family with the King. It's like when your mind processes turn to straightforward thoughts and nothing else. This almost feels like they're attracted from the world, but they're not really moving in it, because there's no well, the moon there, but there's not a feeling of water, there's not a feeling of practicalities with pentacle cards here. It's just mental pain. So I don't know what is going on with your person, but with the full moon here translates to me now with these cards all around of desperately seeking that little star, that little thing that they can hang on to, a little bit of brightness where they can move forward. Where you feel as if you very possibly could be that with the Fortune and Neptune card, because as I was saying earlier, that I was thinking like Neptune and Jupiter, out of all the the big planets, are probably the ones. This isn't. I don't know if I'm speaking rubbish here, but I think are the ones that when they're playing their best parts, let's say you've got 10 different. Statements what the planet oh my gosh, let me try again. They're using the higher if you're using the higher qualities of that particular planet, that is absolutely beautiful. The higher qualities of Neptune and the higher qualities of Jupiter. Imagine if we lived that all day every day, how different the world would be. The messes that we see around the place at the moment. It really could be Sagittarius. They wouldn't even be there, would they? They just wouldn't be there. It would be difficult though, because they're both slippery. to pin things down there with these two. They'll be too busy probably off doing things, finding the next things to do, starting thinking, you know, possibly not finishing it. Not committing could be a problem with this energy here. Let's see what's going on between the pair of you, because this is just the backdrop. So let's see what's going on between the pair of you. Let me use these ones. Okay, so this person to me feels like this is getting what I would say somebody's cut themselves off because they can't move forward with this because it causes them pain. This is somebody who's possibly could be older than you, somebody who's quite mature, somebody who normally falls in love quite easily. You can identify with that because you are very sort of easygoing, easy giving and kind-hearted, but the Three of Air here, this person is shut off from you, I'm thinking. Not emotionally shut off, but physically shut off, mentally shut off. This person would rather tie themselves underneath the bed and hide than move forward and put their heart on the line. Does not feel whatsoever. This could be life processes that don't concern you. It feels like somebody, they got the Hermit and the Nine of Swords here, and that's what's going on between the pair of you. So this is painful, and I don't know whether it's to do with this person's basic energy anyway, because there's so much pain here and swords anyhow. And this person is normally what I would guess a very generous nature, which I'm wondering is what sticks you both together in the first place. Cancerian maybe, I don't know. But your person's not in a good space. So just trying to build a picture here for whether they want a relationship with you. So at the moment I would say that you've got a lot to give. You are a real catch. At the moment I think your person is in a difficult place to be able to give back that much. But let's just keep going. What do they want from you? Okay, your person, if they could speak, and I was really careful with saying this in pile number 2 because my worst nightmare is for people to listen to tarot readings and to wait forever. You know, wait forever for that person that just doesn't really act or do anything. But you've got here the Seven of Wands and the Karmic Soul Tribe here, and you've got here this little otter making a den. So to me it feels like timing, and it feels a bit like working hard behind the scenes. The Karmic Soul Tribe makes me think that this person feels a really strong connection with you. I am reticent to say this because although it's what I can see, so I'm just explaining it, so but don't take it too much to heart, because my worst thought is that you're waiting and waiting for somebody who's not moving. But this person to me feels like they're not moving through pain in their own life, but they're almost hoping that you wait. So that is difficult for me to say for reasons I've just said. So you know, you've got to really think for yourself there what you're comfortable with. And if you know you are this energy of the acting first and thinking later, and this generous spirit, this is going to be difficult for you. You know, you could find yourself in a situation where not only you're frustrated with that energy, but you're also taken advantage of with that energy. I don't mean to make this negative, but I've always felt really protective of people that I'm reading to, and I think it's come up in every pile. You give out, you know, you're one of those people that give. This person doesn't feel like they're in a place at the moment with these cards here, the Hermit, the Nine of Swords, King of Swords, feels like they're not in a place to be able to give back what they want to give back, and they're almost hoping that you wait for them. With the Karmic Soul Tribe and the Seven of Wands, it's timing, and it's a connection that goes from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. I'm just reading the cards. Please, please, please use your own what's the word? Not sensitivities, sensibilities. Right, just use your nouns. That's the northern term, I think, isn't it? Just use your own intuition and your own, the clarity of your own thoughts to move forward with this. But let's keep going with what I can see and see if it helps, and I will sum it up for you. So what action what action are they going to take? I want. Oh, that needs more cards. Why the Tower? For action with pain here and pain here. What's going on between the pair of you? This could very much be a relationship where a past relationship that you've had with somebody and it's been difficult, and there's a history here that's gone in between the pair of you that has it hurts. And it hurts them more. You seem to be more open to moving forward possibly here. Time, the connection is there and it's strong. Time may be part and parcel of moving forward with this. Why the Tower? Defensiveness. Okay. You've got the Tower card, you've got a card which is saying stop it, block it. You've got timing here, you've got the Magician card. Is that, once again, and I am reticent to say this because I don't want people hanging on, you've got the Magician card at the end. When this person gets into the right mindset with the sword cards here, and the Magician is all about mind, they will be able to move forward with this. So to give you soft advice here, if your person, your person is going through a difficult time and it has nothing to do with you, even if it's got something to do with you, there is a possibility that afterwards they will get into a place inside themselves where they can move forward with you. Don't wait forever. That's my biggest nightmare with this. This person's in pain with these cards here. Do they want a relationship with you? Yes, they do want a relationship with you, but it feels like it's not even they can't see the wood for the trees or whatever it is. It's more a case of they can't even see out of the pit at the moment. Okay. You need some advice. Why the pain? I don't understand why the pain is there between the pair. Well, I don't know if it's theirs or it's between the pair of you. And so what action would they take? The Tower card, it's like they're waiting for something to happen. Is there something in this relationship like a marriage or a situation that keeps you apart and they're waiting for that to end and they're defensive until then and then their mind changes? The Tower card is somebody who's scared of doing something themselves and it gets done to them a lot of the time. And you've got retraction here, you've got pain, you've got hurt, and they're waiting for the Tower to make before the move is made. You're just optimistic. The fear is keeping this person, for some reason, stopping them from moving forward at the moment. So advice for you, I think, is more important. What advice would there be for you? What cards do I use? Let's use these ones. Keep it calm, keep it small. Keep contact if you want to, but don't invest too much into this. The Temperance card is asking for ease. It's asking for you to ground yourself. You can dip toe into the emotions of this, but make sure that you can see the reality of it. The Page of Wands is play it small, get involved, but keep yourself to yourself. Keep your heart to yourself until this person sorted themselves out. So yeah, they do want a relationship with you, but it almost feels like something's got to break before this person opens up to relationships. And I don't know what the situation is, but I suppose it's easier than me guessing is for you to apply that to yourself or your situation. So this to me is complicated. you have got the energy of acting first and thinking later. The Neptune and the Fortune card there. They've got the energy of pain and struggling, retraction, somebody who's got a generous spirit, a big heart that is not really into sharing that or in the position to be able to air it to anybody at the moment. What they want from you is for you to hold out, to hope and to wait, because the connection is big between the pair of you. It feels like a real sort of soulful connection, but the Seven of Wands is like they want to build on it. It just feels like they want you to wait. And what they're maybe waiting for is for something to crack in this. They're not applying themselves to this situation. They're waiting for it to sort itself out. This feels almost like an affair where they are waiting for, you know, when you want to leave your job, but you don't want to make the decision yourself. So you almost put yourself in situations to get sacked. It feels like they are doing that. That is a possibility in this. Just one scenario that they can be in a relationship where they almost antagonise their wife or their husband, but they're not giving you anything until that happens. So the husband or wife says, well, I don't want you, and that's fine. It's like they feel as if either through pain or through fear they're not making a decision and holding out. The Magician card here is that it feels like they will eventually start moving. It's how much do you want to wait? You know, this energy, that Neptune and Fortune energy, doesn't need to hang around for anything. Everybody needs a little bit of this in their life. You know, how many people around you would welcome this? You know, you just being you, the Fortune card and Neptune card, you're slipping out of situations, you make people feel good, you live life and you make it feel sweet. This person's suffering. I think it's best to give them room, and they've got to help themselves get out of this. The Tower card, you know, something's going to hit them in the face unless they start facing up to the situation that they're in. Right, I'm going to leave that pile number 3. That's quite specific and unravelled, so I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but I hope it helps somebody out there. And as I always say in every spread, that, you know, you're the one that's looking for a tarot reading. So you're the one that is you know, looking inwards at where you fit and where you sit and what other people's thoughts and feelings are. But I think the most important thing is to look after yourself in a not in a big ego type of way, but just to keep yourself happy. And then you've got more to give. And good luck. I'm going to leave you there. Let me find my clicker. Bye.